The Jester. So I'm reviewing this movie because there's a sequel coming out in a couple weeks via Fathom Events. So by the time that this video goes up, I next week's review will be Legend of Haichi 2. I will have already uploaded that review, and then the week after following that will be the Jester 2 review. So it'll be about 2 weeks after, or not 2 weeks, about a week after the movie comes out. That's just how I could upload these videos. I apologize why that. There wasn't really a way for me to get around that review schedule. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Anyways, let's talk about this movie. So I'd never seen this movie or really heard of this movie until I check Fathom Events website every month just because I like to know what upcoming stuff they got. You know, they've got really great re-releases, new documentaries sometimes, and they got a lot of religious bullshit, and you know, I digress on that. But, you know, they always got some interesting stuff, so I was like, okay, let's see what's playing. And I saw the Jester 2, and I'm like, what is this movie? And it's a horror movie. Now, I'll be honest, Fathom Event horror movies are usually pretty dog shit. They're usually very low budget, nothing of real merit. Well, I don't want to say no merit, because that's a really demeaning thing. You know, I don't think filmmakers always set out to make bad movies, but just like really lazy, not great stuff. Last one I saw via Fathom Events was Jeepers Creepers Reborn. So yeah, so I wasn't really sure what to expect with this movie. I thought the character on the front of this cover looked creepy. I did not care for this movie. It's pretty bad. I guess let me start with what I kind of appreciated, and the key word being kind of. I appreciated that this movie tried to deal with some feelings of grief and kind of people coming together in grief. It's not well done, but I appreciate that it tried to do that and tackle these ideas. I appreciate that the clown design was sort of creepy, an attempt to be scary, but again, an attempt. So, yeah. Yeah, you can really tell there was not very much I liked about this movie. Now into the negatives. This movie is really cheap, and you can tell it. There are shots that just, like, even just normal day shots with characters that just look so washed out and just not great. So there are pieces of the soundtrack that feel like they're out of a Hallmark movie, and yet they're playing in like a scene that's supposed to be serious. It was very odd. The kills in this movie, which is why you watch this movie, because this movie is essentially an Art the Clown knockoff. I was checking out some other reviews because I was curious what other people were thought of this movie after I reviewed it. Like, because with horror fans, there's a lot of horror fans that are pretty shitty, but they have a fan base. This one doesn't seem to have some major fan base, but, you know, I was watching, checked out some reviews, and they were calling it, like, Art the Clown inspired. I'm like, this is not Art the Clown inspired. This is a knockoff Art the Clown. That is the correct terminology for what this is. It's trying to just really tap into those Art the Clown energy vibes, and it's pretty lazy and just not good at all. It is a ripoff of, you know, Art the Clown. And it just feels so, like, mean to really call it an inspired character by Art the Clown, because it just feels like, well, no, it's not what this is. It just, there was nothing really interesting about this character. So I'm just like, I'm surprised this is even getting a sequel, because I'm like, who watched this? Like, I don't mean that in a really, like, mean way. Who watched this? I just, like, did anybody end a sequel? I guess horror movies are made for so little money that, you know, and looks cheap enough, I guess, probably cost nothing to make, if they even made a few $1,000 off of this. I mean, that's probably profit from what it looks like it cost to make. So I don't know. It just felt so nothing. Do I recommend it? No. And it'd just be one thing if this movie had like a couple kills or something like that. But it really doesn't. Like, it has kills in there, but they're very tame and not very interesting. Like, if you're trying to rip off Terrifier with this clown thing, then at least have some fucking balls to try and match the absurdity of those movies. Didn't bother here, and for that, fuck it. Let me know your thoughts, like, share, and subscribe.